Hello, friends. Some people have had questions regarding still images, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown. So when you open up Davinci Resolve, and this is just Davinci Resolve 19 Beta 4 at this point. This is a studio version, and of course that's free at this moment. And otherwise this works with the regular free version as well. Essentially, I've collected a bunch of images that I've rendered, and what I want to do is bring them in here. So if I render them at 1024, I can, of course, through Draw Things or Stable Diffusion or something else, expand them to tremendous size. But let's say I want to do just something quick and dirty here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a timeline of, we'll make it 2048 by 2048. I like working in the edit page, so I'm going to right click on this, go to timelines, create new timeline. And in that, I'm going to just call it 2048, if I can type. And I'm going to change the project settings. The color, because I like working in color managed, I turn off automatic color management. I go to DaVinci Wide Gamut Intermediate. This basically gets me the most playroom for what I'm doing. And I'm going to do a create at this point. Frame rate doesn't matter because I'm not exporting this as a movie or anything in that regard. What I'm doing is I'm simply going to export these frame by frame, so single still images. The other thing that you'll want to do is you want to go up into the DaVinci menu. And this is on a Mac, but the location should be the same as far as the menu. You go up to Preferences, and they do have a key command, which is Command comma, I believe. And you'll go to User, and you'll go to Editing. And in there, there's standard still duration. So normally it's like 5 seconds. So you can go down through here. Go down through here. And what I do is I just change it to 1 frame instead. And I'll click Save. So now any still images that I bring in will go directly to my timeline as a single frame still image. Drag a bunch of these in here. And I'm going to zoom in a tad. So using the right arrow key, each one of these demonstrates it's clearly a still frame. Okay. And I didn't change that timeline. Silly me, I went through all that, but I didn't change that timeline. Let's see, we're going to custom 2048. 2048. Now, this will become the proper size. So what I'm going to do is if I wanted to do the superscale, I'll just use over here in the inspector. If I go to Superscale, click on that, and do 2 times enhanced. And what it does is it goes through its own AI processing and increases that to twice the size. And again, you can get better images maximally. I mean, if you're going to really enlarge these things by simply doing it in Draw Things or Comfy UI, plenty of other ones. There are ones that you can expand as well. But being still images, it requires very little time to actually do this. So that one was really high. Let's do select them all, do superscale. So then, of course, you can go through the color page and you can change your colors however you wish and modify them however you wish. And again, each one of these, you can see, expands. There we go. And Not Who I Am. Hey, that's a song by somebody I know. Actually, I produced that song. If you look up on Eric E. Kane on wherever music is sold, you'll find some music I produced. These, let's say I've color corrected them. I've done all the work, resize them, whatever. I'm going to go to the Deliver page. And on the Deliver page, I'm going to just zoom in on this again and make sure that it includes all of the images into out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Custom Export up at the top here. I'm going to give it a name of stills, and I'm going to export those into a particular location. And then the question was, does it not export them as a movie? Well, it exports it as a movie if you use a movie format. If I use PNG here, or use a JPEG, or I use TIFF, what happens is it exports it single frame, because I only have each individual frame. Doesn't matter how many. It's not a movie. So when I do this, and we'll demonstrate that in a second here, is I'm going to export them at PNG right now. And I can do 8 bits, I can do 16 bits, so that will add more, interpolate to add more color information. The resolution we're going to keep at 2048 by 2048. So when I do the add to render queue, it puts it over here, and I just click render all. And the only thing that would take time is that it's doing the scaling, and that's it. So what I've got on these is the stills, just like that. Each and every one of those is now bumped up larger, and they are exported as stills. So again, not who I am. That's a good one. So for those who have any questions with that, I hope that helped. It's not difficult. Again, if you go back through and you change it into a still image format, it'll export it as still images. There are higher end ones for more graphics exchange for when we're doing special effects and so forth, EXR and things like that. But overall, if you want it as a movie, you export it as a QuickTime movie, or an MKV, or EXR. That's again high-end exports, actually stills. But and again, change your codec for what you want as far as export. This should fix a lot of people's problems with it. Again, if you go to your preferences and change that from the user to editing, and change the stills import to single frame, it's a piece of cake. You don't have to go through anything else, and export it like that, and you're good to go. I really hope that helped you. If you are still having questions with that or challenges with it, let me know, and I'll do my best to get you in the comments or make another video for you. Thank you.